Hey guys, Crixley here with a Fangirls Guide. As you can see, it's just me because I wouldn't let my co-host Jared Hoy anywhere near this interview. And it's not for anything bad, it's just that I want to interview these guys by myself.
And that's how we like it too.
Who is this Jared guy?
Jared's my co-host. We actually met on the Guild. We did the Guild together. And
the guy?
Jared, yeah, Jared's the guy.
And he's a host for Girl Gamer?
No. Well, we do a show called A Fangirls Guide.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's sponsored by Girl Gamer, but I also write for Girl Gamer. Gotcha. So hot. Oh, sweaty.
But still,
we won't edit that.
A guy for...
Yeah, well, oddly enough, our founder is a male as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Surprising. I'm sure he didn't do that to get laid.
He's a she-male, but he's a male.
He's definitely a she-male. He'll be in here any minute, and we can call him Michelle. As you can see, I'm very, very excited. This is probably the most excited I am about an interview. This is my first Comic-Con, too, by the way. I'm here with David Faustino and Corin Nemec, and you probably do know them from their respective shows, Married with Children and Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which were two of my favorite shows growing up, by the way. And now they have this new web series called Star-ving, and I believe y'all coined it as an anti-Entourage thing. And for me, when I saw it, it kind of did remind me of Entourage, but it also reminded me of that, like, Curb Your Enthusiasm type feel to it.
Well, that's funny you say that, because that was the actual log line was a Curb Your Enthusiasm meets the anti-Entourage ... sort of. That was the actual log line. So you're right on the money.
These guys are so awesome. Now, what was the catalyst? I guess what was the beginning bubble in both of your brains that said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do something fun. Let's put it on the internet, because now that with the new media and the first that I had heard of Star-ving was because of the streamies, which was a very huge issue, very big deal. You guys were on Tube Filter, and people really started talking about the show. So what was the catalyst that just made you guys go, hey, let's make a show?
You want to take this?
Well, me and our other partner, Todd Bringawat, had written a script called "Give Me That Chicken," which was similar in feel to Star-ving, but it was it was totally made up characters. But out of that, we developed this partnership, a production company, and we ended up in some development deals with some other reality-based production companies that were wanting to create content for David and really exploitative kind of content, and none of the stuff that they were pitching, to David more specifically.
It was fascinating.
It all was just and
She'd have done it.
Yeah, and so that was really frustrating, to David and to us as a team, and our other partner Todd Bringawat. He finally, in a moment of sheer brilliance, late at night, thought, well, if anybody's going to exploit, us, David and myself, it should be us. And so he came up with this, a treatment for the concept that became Star-ving.
And I've also noticed that that you do have a lot of guests like Ed O'Neill and Gilbert Gottfried and Christina Applegate, of course. Now, when you get people, especially people like Ed and Gilbert that have such impeccable comic timing, it's just like bam, bam, bam. Like, do you let them go off script and you just let them see what happens, or do some of your guests tend to stay on book and then they go, hey, can we go off and just see what happens?
I think it varies for each celebrity or actor you're talking about, but namely the two that you mentioned, Ed and Gilbert, was very loosely scripted. We talked about the idea. We sat there. Like you said, Ed is just a genius improvisational actor, and we know each other so well, and he knew what we were going for, and he just really just busted my ass in the scene, and so that was great. And then Gilbert, the day Gilbert showed up, we were standing in Video Village watching the scene go down, and we just, we hired this wife for him to play, this young beautiful wife, and we just said, just be a monster. Just be an animal. Just hate this woman, hate us, hate life. And he was, in Gilbert, I don't know if you've met Gilbert, but Gilbert's just this
very soft spoken.
I've heard
kind of very, and then it's action and it's and we were cracking up. We just couldn't believe what was spewing out of his mouth. So it was great. It was great.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite lines, and then actually brings me to my next question, was like, what's that Parker Lewis asshole doing here? And it seems to be this ongoing. It's almost like this ongoing running gag line through every episode. Because it's like, what's this Parker Lewis asshole? Like, what the fuck is he doing here? Right. And and I love how you say in the intro, it's like he was on a show called Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Well, he lost.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was that your idea to do that? Just have the running through line of like everybody hates Parker Lewis or everybody hates you, or
it really organically came out of, first off, the scene with Ed.
Yes.
Because it just sort of organically happened where, you know, we had an idea where he did a guest spot, Corin did on Married with Children,
which I didn't do.
Which he didn't, but we came up with an idea that for some reason he stole $15 out of Ed's wallet, and we thought $15, it's nothing, but Ed, being the guy he is, would never forget that.
Yeah.
And so that was how it started, and then that became sort of the catalyst for the rest of the show, that he's just the guy that, as much as they hate me, they hate him.
hate me worse.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the one with Gilbert Gottfried, what were the looks of people watching you on that scooter, like ass out?
When he first pulled
when he first, because I actually,
it's not just ass out.
I did a spit take. Yeah, I was just kind of getting ready to come here, and I was like, and I look over in the corner, I was like, what the fuck? So, like, you know, did people off to the side just kind of take pictures of it, or did you get looks?
We had such a small crew. You know, that was one part of, like, you know, doing the show that turned out to be really exciting, is that we realized, you know, how much you can do with so few people. You know, we can get a really high quality product with very few, you know, crew members. And so in reality, there was not that many people around, you know, even watching that. And we were always just like, you know, we'd finish a scene, we're moving on to the next, finishing a scene, moving on to the next. You know, so there wasn't even in that context. There, you know, we had a lot of laughs, you know, on and off the set. But, you know, we didn't really, I think, realize how funny a lot of it was until the editing room.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think that in that one scene you're talking about in particular, that it was probably one of the most frozen, paused scenes in the whole series, where people say, "Wait a second, did I just see what I thought I saw?" Yes, I did think I would. Yeah, so I think a lot of people were shocked at that.
Yeah, the idea of driving all the way through town like that.
All the way through town.
Well, not only that, but when he jumped into the pool, and I was like, I just screamed so loud.
Well, we did another scene where Dave was committing suicide, and Sam Cass, our other partner, was like, you got to put some shit on his ass, you know, on his underwear or whatever, you know what I mean? So I did that, you know, like I was like, here, I'll do it. And so I put my spray. We had this spray can of shit, so I put it on Dave's underwear, right? And so when we did that, Dave's like, oh no, now it's my turn. He was like,
oh yeah, I sprayed it all over him.
Just made
it literally looked like someone just took a handful of, like, remember chocolate peanut butter and just went.
But it's funny, most people thought it was blood.
Oh yeah, in your scene, your death scene, yeah, they thought your ass was bleeding,
which is kind of funny too.
Which is kind of funny, but even worse.
Yeah.